Welcome everyone. Today I am going to talk to you about the power of DISC personality profiling and how this can be the first step to understanding you. My name is Susan Greatbanks from Show the Light Limited, and my company is all about people and how you can be the best version of yourself. I think you can have your cake and eat it because you deserve it. So today I'm going to talk about understanding personality styles, because I think knowing your personality trait can help you understand yourself and others' perspectives. They aren't doing what they do to you just to annoy you and make your day crap. And I think once you appreciate that people are just different, not difficult, instead of reacting and feeling irritated and frustrated and angry, instead this helps you change your perspective so that you don't have any of those feelings anymore. Instead, you are calmer, and because you're calmer, your family is calmer. And this helps absolutely everyone in your life, not just you. So hopefully you will take something from this today, even if it's just one nugget, just something that helps you change maybe the way you thought about something. So if you want to get to know me a little bit more, I'll start with a bit about my childhood. So I had a happy childhood. I grew up in a place called Little Eva in Bolton with my mum and my dad, and I've got two older sisters who are 4 and 6 years older than me. We had pets growing up. I had a dog called Rags, and my sisters used to dress him up in my clothes. They thought it was very, very funny. He was such a patient dog. And that was back when you got puppies for free. When your neighbour's dog had puppies, you just found them out around the neighbourhood. Yeah, so that was then. That's how long ago it was. I did all the usual stuff. I went to brownies. Went to dancing classes on a Friday night, that's ballroom and disco. And that's when we used to catch the bus on our own, no parents. And that's when bus tickets were about 10p. I also played the cello at school. But to be honest, that was only because if you played an instrument, you didn't have to get kicked out at playtime, outside in the rain and the cold. But in the end, I got quite good at it. I was in the Bolton Youth Orchestra, got to play at the Victoria Albert Hall and the Bridgewater Hall. But then I got to the age of 18, and that's when boys took over. Cello was binned, boys, cello out, boys in. So why did I start Show the Light when I was 45 years old? I worked in the corporate world for about 25 years. I'm a qualified accountant, a qualified project manager, change manager. And I've managed to work for some really, really interesting companies. I've been lucky enough to be involved in quite a few interesting change projects. And in this time, I've been observing and learning from people. And I've observed people's behaviour and how some people can just bring the best out of you, can't they? And then some people, no matter what, they just seem to take that spark out of you, bit by bit. And in my time, I've worked with great people, great leaders that I would jump through fire for if they asked. But also, I've all worked for people that I wouldn't give them water if they were on fire. And it was all about how they treated me, how I felt listened to, how I felt appreciated and included. And I realised it isn't their fault, because there's nowhere you can go where you get taught people skills, how to communicate with people. There's no college course to go on, no assignment or exam to pass. And thinking back, that's probably why I had so many jobs, because I was searching for a place, a community or leadership where I could fit in and thrive in. I met my husband when I was 30. We were together for 7 years, and we got married on our 7-year anniversary. So very, very happy times. That was on a San Diego beach. We got married with no shoes on. It was wonderful. Then suddenly, 2 years ago, everything changed. Sadly, my husband died suddenly, very unexpectedly. And all of a sudden, my future was taken away. But after a while, grieving does change to healing. And I started to think about my future again. What is it I want to do? What is my purpose? What am I passionate about? What do I enjoy? What am I good at? And I thought, well, I've always enjoyed helping people. I seem to be good at it. I seem to be good at bringing the best out of people. And then I went on some training for myself, my own personal development training. And that's when I discovered DISC personality profiling. And it totally blew my mind. Everything just made sense and fell into place again. And this is a tool that helps you understand yourself and others so you can start to appreciate their differences instead of getting frustrated by them. Have you ever wondered why some people you just click with immediately, you're just drawn to them? It's like something's pulling you towards them. And when you're with these people, it's been an hour and it's just felt like 5 minutes. It just goes so quick. And then there's those others, no matter how hard you try, you just can't get on. You clash rather than click. And when you're with these people, you've been with them 5 minutes and it just feels like an hour. Well, this is what DISC personality profiling helps you to understand. And this is where I had my light bulb moment. And I thought, this is how I can help people. And that's how the seed of Show the Light was planted. So this is about 12 months ago now. And we started to formulate the ideas, and I started to do this as a side hustle. But then I knew I had to give it my all. I had to jump in and fully commit. And that's when I gave up my paid job back in July 2020, the most nerve-wracking experience ever. And we are live now. So Show the Light has been launched in January 2021. And my big dream is to help the world be a better place, one conversation at a time. Can you imagine a world where we all understood each other? So that's a little bit about me. Let's talk about negative mind chatter. What does that mean? We all have it. And if you're honest, we do. We all have voices in our head. And I don't mean those scary voices that you're going to go into the, a white jacket, that kind of thing. But we do. We talk things through. We talk things through to ourselves. We probably have more conversations in our head than we do in real life. And did you know that if you think about it, you also feel it too? And if you feel it, then you have an emotional reaction to it. And this comes out in your body. Why do we do this? Why do we talk to ourselves in such a negative way? And why do we always think if anything goes wrong, it must be something to do with us? How we talk to ourselves is so powerful. And one thing I've learned on this journey is that it all starts with you. Once we understand ourselves, we will improve what we think about ourselves and be kinder to ourselves. Don't let your mind play tricks on you. Overthinking and worrying is just one of the biggest causes of unnecessary pain. I just ask you to please just let go and embrace the present moment, the moment that you're in. Because 99% of things that you worry about never actually happen. One thing that I always, someone told me when I was working is, if it's not going to matter in 5 years, then don't spend more than 5 minutes worrying about it. So what influences our behavior? Where do our first impressions come from? What is our unconscious bias? And it comes from these various things, really. So one, it's either hereditary, you've inherited it, or it's influences by our role models growing up. It's your family members, your teachers, your peers, your first people, your first line managers. And it's also our experiences, the exposure to the different environments. And our personalities can shift and change as we face life's challenges and experiences. And we might behave differently at home and at work. Or extreme life events and stress can force us to change our behaviour in different ways. But we have the power to change and be who we want to be by embracing our emotional intelligence and understanding ourselves and having a keen self-awareness. As soon as we start to understand our needs, how we process information, how we cope emotionally, we can start to have better control of our lives. So let's explore this DISC model together. One of the things I loved about this profiling model is that it's easy to learn, it's easy to understand, it's easy to talk about and apply in your life. So the first one, it talks about outgoing or reserved. There's those of you who are a little bit more outgoing, or those of you a little bit more reserved. For those outgoing types, they tend to be a little bit more fast-paced. They're very optimistic, have lots of energy, very enthusiastic and positive. They like to talk things through. And then there's those reserved types who are more slower paced, quietly spoken, cautious and reflective. They like to think things through. They like to think and reflect first before making a decision. And they like to slow things down, have a job well done. Now, I know some of you now are thinking, well, I'm a bit of both. And you are a bit of both. And you will adapt your style. And you are different to the situations that you're in. But generally, if you had to choose, I'd invite you to choose which one. Are you more outgoing or reserved? Either 51% on one side or 49% on the other. But which one are you? And there's no right or wrong. There's no good or bad. It's just our preference. Next, we talk about task or people. And again, it's which one are you drawn towards first? So task-focused people like procedures, plans, data, KPIs, processes. And those of you that are focused on tasks generally want to focus on the task first, complete it and move on to the next one. They like to-do list, processes and routine. And those people focused are very relational, very caring and sharing, emotional and empathetic. You are generally interested in people. You check in with them. You want to make sure they're okay. Now, again, there's no right or wrong. It's just what you're drawn towards first. Now, it doesn't mean that if you're people focused, you can't do task. It's just your preference. It's what you're drawn towards. So, for example, I'm a people person and I can do task, but I procrastinate the hell out of it first. A 5-minute task can take me 2 weeks. The amount of time I thought about it and not done it, that's just who I am. So again, I know some of you might say, well, I'm a little bit of both. It depends on the situation. And again, you are right. But I just want you to choose either 51% on one side or 49% on the other. And this is where we pull it all together. So now there are 4 quadrants. You've got outgoing task, outgoing people, reserved task. Now, if you had to choose, where would you be? So let me tell you a little bit more information. So for the outgoing task, we call these our Ds, our driven people, and we've got lots of lovely D words describing these people. These people are fast-paced, bottom line focused, they make things happen, they get things done, and they like to perform tasks at a faster pace. They want to move ahead and tick another job off the list as quickly as possible. And then we've got our lovely Is. These are our outgoing people. And we call these our inspiring people. Now, these are generally interested in people. They're very talkative, persuasive, and outgoing. They see the positive side to most situations. And these people just love to interact. They love to chat and have fun. And now we've got our reserved people. We call these our S's. So these are our lovely supportive people. And again, interested in people, but more reserved with new people. They're very sensitive and sympathetic to those around them and have a desire to work in a harmonious environment. And they really don't like change or rapid change. And then we've got our reserved task people. So these are our lovely C's, and these are our careful people. These are more reserved by nature. They are analytical, methodical, and logical, and they have a desire to be in an environment which has neat and order. They like a clear set of rules and boundaries. Now, there's no right or wrong, good or bad. It's just people's preferences, and you can move throughout. As your life is changing, you will change as well. I've definitely changed. When I was younger, I was training to be an accountant, so I had to be more task focused. And I was. But as I've got older, and especially now the job I'm doing now, I've moved over to be more people focused. And this is where this DISC acronym comes from. So the D is for dominance and driven, the I is for influence or inspiring, and the S is for steadiness or supportive, and the C is for compliance or correct. Now, you can be a blend of more than one style, and you can potentially change, as I said, depending on your careers or your life experiences. Some people are a blend of 2 or 3 styles. Now, what we find difficult generally tends to be what we find different. And for those people we get on with, it seems to be just effortless. And for those that we don't, it's because we just can't work them out. We're all different, and that is okay. But what we are is predictably different. And as you go through the DISC model and training with me, you'll be able to understand and recognize this. Why is it that some people are blunt? Now, on the positive side, we could call these people decisive and direct, but those people who don't agree with that might see them as being blunt. Why do some people just don't tell you what they're thinking? So those are our reserve types. They like to watch and observe and think things through. They don't really tell you what's on their mind. And that could be really frustrating for those outgoing types who talk all the time and just say, why just tell me what you're thinking? Some people could be a little bit too frustrating because they're too optimistic all the time. The glass is always half full. There's nothing that can happen to these people. And there's those that talk too much, and you might be thinking, do they ever shut up? And there's those reserved types that might not be able to make a decision. For those outgoing task people, it's black or white, it's bullet points. Yes, let's get things done. Whereas those reserved types might go, well, it's not quite black and white, is it? It's a bit of grey. It's a bit of grey there, and they struggle to make decisions. So until everyone has a sign above the head telling you what they want and what they need, how can you tell what they want? Some people do want to be in charge. Some people want praise. Some people need praise. It motivates them. It keeps them going. Some people just want to feel more secure in their job or more secure in their life, and they need routine in their life. And some people like detail, the more detail, the better. Other people hate detail, it's bullet points all the way. So I guess until people do have a sign above the head, this is where understanding personality styles can really help you. But also you can start to understand and appreciate where conflict and misunderstanding can occur in your life, in your family life, in your work life. Those outgoing types might see the reserved types as being slow and, lethargic, never get things done. And those reserved types might see the outgoing types as being reckless and unprofessional. And the task types can see those people types as being too emotional, too needy. They just get attached, too attached. And those people types might see the task types as being cold or calculating and inconsiderate. But once you know more about personality styles, you can use this and apply this in your everyday life. It helps you set strategies for healthy boundaries in relationships. It can help you build better rapport with your friends, your family, your clients, and your colleagues. It can even help you have the best holiday for all your family members. Because if you've got different people in a group, you all want different things. But once you understand that, you could all have the same holiday and have the best holiday. It can even help you discover your dream job, and it can definitely help you have harmony in your home life. But it is all about intensity. Not everyone's the same, and we can dial up our style or dial it down depending on the situation that we're in, because that is all about our emotional intelligence. We can always adapt our style. But how we communicate, okay, I think we communicate all the time. We can't not communicate. We are talking, we are interacting with people all the time, and we're making impressions and we're influencing people. And we're also being influenced by people on a daily basis. I think communication is all about building relationships. And you don't have to be in a leadership position or have a title to have influence. And this is why learning and understanding personality profiles is so powerful. It can give us all a common language that we understand. I think we all want to feel listened to, don't we? We all want to be heard, and we all want to know that we matter, ultimately. And this is what I think communicating effectively means. It's our listening skills. We all have these skills, but I just think we seem to have forgotten it. They seem to be deep down in our subconscious. It's our listening skills, being active and being present. Also using silence, because for some reason we always want to fill that gap, don't we? Or we want to provide people solutions. But if we just are silent while other people are trying to talk to us and think things through, you'll find that they'll come up with a solution themselves. Our body language, I'm just reading a book at the moment called I've got the name of it. Something about all the body language. And it's everything about it's not what you say, it's what you say with your body. And that's your face, it's your eyes, your eyebrows, your smile. It's what you do with your hands. Are you open? Are you closed? It's how you're holding yourself. Are your legs crossed? Are they open? It's how you walk into a room. It's how you leave a room. It's the huffs, it's the noises that you make. It's just a wonderful. And one thing I might ask you to do now is are you aware of your body language? What is your body saying as you are speaking those words? And also, it's showing appreciation. How do we show appreciation? Like communication, I think we all talk with people or communicate in our own style. And I think we bring that to appreciation. We also show appreciation how we would like to receive appreciation. And just because we like it that way doesn't mean other people like it that way. So there's different types of appreciation. There's words of affirmation. So that's you thanking you and you please, and just telling someone, oh, I really appreciated how you did that for me. Or thank you for coming in early. There's quality times. So what drives those people is they just want to spend quality time with you, or have space to spend time, or leave work early so they can spend time with you. There's acts of service. So that's doing someone a favor. You can see someone's really, really struggling and you go and help them out. That just makes people just feel so valued and appreciated. There is tangible gifts, but that doesn't have to cost money. It's you can bake someone a cake, that kind of thing. I remember I went to I don't know where I was now, but I went to a work thing, and there was some watermelon key rings on the side. Free, you can have them for free. And I knew a girl at work who just loved everything watermelon. She had every pencil case, t-shirt, pen, everything watermelon on her desk. And the next day I took in this watermelon keyring. They didn't cost me a penny. But this lady, she just thought, oh, thank you so much, because it just meant that I was thinking about her and that she was important. And there's also physical touch, those people who just need that hug, or a handshake, or a pat on the back, or a high five, fist bump, whatever. And in my experience and knowledge, it's tangible gifts is the least favorite. So I just want you to think now, what is your language of appreciation? So knowing the DISC model and understanding your personality traits has massively changed my life for the better. When I find a negative thought creeping in, I'm aware of it and I stop it in its tracks and I say the opposite instead. And I found that for every criticism or bad thought, I have to replace it with at least 5 positive ones. It's all about tipping that balance, really. And another thing I've noticed that us Brits do, we seem to be programmed to say sorry a lot, don't we? Sorry for that. So another thing I'd quite like to task you with is, instead of saying sorry, start saying thank you. For example, sorry for being late. Thank you for waiting. I'm sorry I didn't get it right. Thank you for that helpful note. Sorry I took up all of your time. Thank you for spending so much time with me. Sorry for being sensitive. Thank you for being accepting of me. Sorry I mess up. Thank you for being patient with me. I'm sorry for talking too much. Thank you for listening to me. If you just start being kinder to yourself and talking to yourself in a much more positive way, and maybe think about the words that you're using to talk about yourself, how might you change what you are thinking? So if you have enjoyed what you've heard so far and are wanting to know some more about what your style is and how you can use this and apply this into your life, you can have the opportunity of having your DISC report done with me and find out all about your wonderful quality traits and your unique ways. You get a 17-page report. It's 95% accurate and it's all about you. We also provide you with a 45-minute consultation, because it's one thing when you read your report about you, but don't forget, we seem to have that negative filter. We seem to make negative twists on ourselves. But when you hear someone talk about you in such a complimentary way, you start to believe it more. And also, when you purchase this little piece of magic, you will discover how you prefer to be communicated with, what truly drives you, what your fears are, how to appreciate your strengths, and those areas you may need to work on. But most importantly, you take away the ability to accept yourself and celebrate your own special uniqueness. And we will be with you every step of the way, from the payment to taking your questionnaire to receiving your report, booking your appointment and having your consultation. And I'm also interested in how this helps you. What positive changes would you have made from what you've learned about yourself? If you want to know more and learn a little bit more about me, you can find me on Facebook, Instagram and LinkedIn. I have some podcasts out there now. I'm on Spotify, SoundCloud and YouTube. And I'm doing these podcasts with people I've already know or have met on my journey. And I'm talking about topics that are important to me and resonate with me. So we've already done one, which was all about hormones, understanding your baseline. So when these hormones come and get you and it's taken away from your normal levels. We've got one coming up all about movement and investing in yourself. One about sleep, how to sleep well for life, because sleep is so important to have a positive day, and especially movement as well, sleep and exercise. And we've got another one called Know Your Worth, and this is all about confidence, how your confidence can shine through. So thank you for listening. I want you to know that you are unique. You have everything you need to be the best version of you. And, don't compare yourself to others. Just do you. You don't have to rely on other people to bring you happiness. Do what brings you joy. If you want to have a coffee or a chat, then just please reach out. I'd really love to get to know you a little bit more and see how I can help you. And I think inspiration is everywhere. You just have to be open to receive it. Thank you.